Namaste. It's Jacci. We're going to do a little yoga together. So take a moment to get yourself settled. If you have a yoga mat, you can set that out on the floor in a space where you can lie down on your back. You'll have enough room to stretch your arms over your head, and you can be undisturbed for the next 30 or 40 minutes. And you can turn off your phones, you can turn off your devices, and let yourself have a little time for yourself. This is a self-care practice. That's what yoga is. So get yourself settled. If you have a blanket or a thick towel, you may want to use that to pad your knees when we get onto hands and knees. So let's begin lying down on the back. Again, taking a little time to get yourself settled. As you're ready, you can join me here on the back. And just draw your knees up into your chest. Situate your hips, your back. You might sway or rock a little bit to get the back settled. And then if you lower your feet down to the floor, you can let the legs rest for just a moment and stretch your arms up over your head and kind of do some reaching, spreading breaths. And then bring your arms down by your sides. Take a moment to just scan your body with your attention. Notice your neck, your shoulders, your hips, your low back. Get yourself settled. And then also taking a moment to scan the space that you're in with your eyes. So you can go up, down, side to side, not turning your neck so much, just letting your eyes glance around and orient yourself to the space that you're in. And then draw your knees back up into your chest. And we're going to start with a simple movement. We're going to think about coordinating our movement with our breathing. So if you let your hands rest on your kneecaps, the fingers point down toward the ankles. And on the exhale, bend your elbows so the knees draw into your chest. And you can flex your feet and spread your toes as you do this. And then a slow inhale, breathe through your nose. Extend the arms so the knees rock away and relax your toes and ankles. And we'll do that a couple of times. So exhale, bend the elbows, knees draw toward your chest. Breathing through the nose. Inhale, knees rock away. Relax the toes and ankles. And again, exhale, bend your elbows. Really simple movement. Inhale, so focusing on the breath. And then pause at the end of that inhale and let your feet come back down to the floor. We'll do a similar movement with our arms, but they have a lot further to travel here. So on the in-breath, lift your arms all the way up over your head to the floor behind you. So your arms might move a little faster than your knees did. And then exhale down, pulling the belly in. Breathing in and out through the nose. You might let your eyes follow your hands back behind you. At some point, you won't be able to see your hands anymore. You can notice that too. And then exhale back down. If your shoulders are not good today, you could bend your elbows and lift them up over your head. That's a nice variation if you have a shoulder injury. So one more time. Inhale up. Nice stretch. Exhale down. And then we're going to do a little variation of those two movements. Might be a little odd. So we're going to take the left knee up into the chest, and you can just rest your hand on your knee like we did in that other movement, and the right hand rests by your side. So on your exhale, we're going to bend the left elbow so that knee draws into your chest, and you can flex your foot. And as you inhale and that left arm extends, the right arm is going to float up over the head. Okay, and as you exhale, bend your left elbow so that knee draws towards your chest as you bring your arm down by your side. And here we have two movements going on at the same time. Inhale, left knee moves away, right arm goes over your head. So your right arm has a long distance to travel, and your knee doesn't have very far to go. So see how smoothly you can coordinate. So the arm has to move a little faster. We're going to add one more element. So inhale, straighten the left arm, let the right arm go over your head. And this time, as you lower your arm and bend your left elbow, let your head turn to the right. And then on the inhale, as everything moves back, you can roll your head to the center. And we'll do that two more times. So left elbow bends, right arm lowers, head turns. Some of this stuff is for your brain to coordinate all these different movements. Inhale. Head turns to the center, arm lifts, left arm extends so the knee rocks away. One more time. Let the left elbow bend, let the right arm come down, turn your head to the right. And this inhale, you can just let your head come to the center and bring your foot back down to the floor. And your hand too. And take a moment to notice the two sides. So it's not that the movements are complicated, it's just that we're doing them all together and then your brain has to figure it all out. So please take your right hand to your right knee, and your left hand can just be down by your side, and we'll begin on an exhale. Let your right elbow bend so that knee draws towards your chest. You can flex that foot if you like. And on the inhale, as you extend the right arm, let the left arm go over your head. Maybe you follow it with your eyes. And as you exhale, as the arm comes down, then the right elbow bends again. And again, your right knee doesn't have very far to go. So it's going to move slower than your arm, which has a pretty far distance to go. So one more like that, and we'll add the little turn of the head. So same on the inhale, the right arm extends, the left arm goes over your head. And on the exhale, as you bend the right elbow and lower your arm, turn your head left this time. And then inhale, roll the head to the center as the arm lifts, the right knee moves away, the right arm extends, and then exhale, right elbow bends, left arm comes down, head turns to the left. One more. Right arm lengthens, left arm goes over your head, and then exhale, lower the arm, left arm, bend your right elbow, turn your head, and then just stay on your inhale. Go ahead and roll your head to the center, lower your right foot to the floor. Good. Take a moment to notice. And then we're going to do some movements where we do the same thing with both sides of the body. So if you draw your knees back up into your chest one at a time, we're going to lengthen both legs toward the ceiling. So extend the legs, push your heels up, and spread your toes. And on the exhale, bend your knees. There's a little hugging in of the abdomen here. Inhale. When you're lying on your back, you can sort of think about pushing your low back toward the floor. Not super hard, gentle engagement. This time as you lift your legs, lift both arms over your head to the floor behind you. And exhale, bend your knees and lower your arms. And we'll do that 2 more times. Slow inhale, everything lifts, fingers and toes spread wide. Exhale, everything comes down. And again, you might notice that your arms have a little further to go than your legs, so they need to move just a little faster. And then exhale everything down. And then you can just hold on to your legs, give them a little hug, maybe some rocking. And then we're going to roll over to the side. So you can lower your feet down. Please roll to one side and use your hands to push yourself up. For the next movement, we're going to come on to hands and knees. Here's where you might want to use some padding under your knees. So I'm going to grab my blanket here, but get what you need. If you're on a carpet, you might not need that. All right, and we're going to come to the tabletop position, having the hands underneath the shoulders and the hips over the knees. Still coordinating with our breath. On the in-breath, lift the chest, lift the eyes. You can push down through your hands. On the exhale, pull the navel in and fold back. Let the elbows touch down. We're going back to child's pose, so the hips are folding toward the heels. And on the inhale, glide back up to all fours. Lift your chest and eyes. And do that again. Exhale back. And as if the breath lifts you back up, lift your chest and eyes. One more. Hugging in the belly. So you feel the back round as you hug in the abdomen. Folding back, a little stretch for your back. As you rise this time, take your right leg back behind you. Push through your heel, lift your chest. And then come on down, lower the knee, fold back. Inhale, left leg lifts. We're just moving slowly, breathing slowly. Exhale. These are soothing things for the brain to breathe slowly. So we're going to add the opposite arm. So right leg Take your left arm forward as well, and then come down on your exhale and fold back. And then switch again, left leg, right arm. Maybe you're looking down so your neck is comfortable. Exhale down and fold back. So this time, inhale up as smoothly as you can. Pause for just a second at the top of that inhale. Keep getting long. And when you come down, see if your hand and your knee can touch the floor right at the same time. So we're coordinating our movements. And then opposite side, left leg, right arm, little pause right at the top of that in-breath. And then coming down, letting everything touch right at the same time. And each side again like that, right leg, left arm, inhale. And again, that slight pause at the top of the in-breath. Coming down, letting everything touch together, fold back. And then left leg, right arm, inhale. Little pause. You're breathing at your own pace. You can be breathing slower. Come on down, exhale, let everything touch together, fold back. So you're welcome to breathe slower or faster than me. Inhale up to your hands and knees. We're going to lower the elbows down to the floor. This is puppy pose, so you can let your hips sway side to side. And if your neck and shoulders are pretty happy today, you can walk your hands further in front of you. So the hips are stacked up over the knees. We're trying to stretch the low back here. You can stretch your arms out and put your forehead down. Depending on your shoulders, this is a big stretch in the shoulders, and you may find it's better to be on your elbows. You can put your forehead down if you can. If I do that, you wouldn't be able to hear me because of the microphone. Enjoy that stretch. Watch your cats and dogs and just do these little stretches when they do it. Your back will be happier. And then please push yourself back up to all fours. Have your hands right underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide. And we're going to go tabletop to downward dog pose. So if you tuck your toes under, we're going to push up to downward dog on an exhale. Take a moment in the pose to check out how you feel. You can pedal out your legs. You could bend both knees a little bit. Try to work your arms equally so both arms are carrying the weight evenly. And then we're going to go up and down between tabletop and down dog. So inhale to your knees. Let them touch right at the same time. Lift your chest and eyes. Hug your belly in and then push slowly back up. And see how slowly you are comfortable breathing. So you want to breathe at your own pace, but as slowly as you can. Inhale down. And exhale through the nose as you push back up. Again, slowly. So we'll do two more. You just see if you can go just a tiny bit slower. One technique to help you slow down is to count your breath. So you might lower down to 4, 5, or 6 seconds. 3, 4, 5. And you might push up to the same. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're welcome to hold your down dog this time. If you feel more comfortable on your knees, you can come down to child's pose. If you're holding down dog, you can try having the feet just a little bit wider. See how that feels? You can have a bend in your knees, and you can really push down through the hands and lengthen the spine. These little variations can be quite nice. See what's helpful for you. And then from wherever you are, we're going to come up to standing. So if you're in child's pose, you can push up, and if you're down dog, you can just walk your feet in. And we'll come to standing. You can move your padding out of the way if you had something under your knees. And standing on your feet, have the feet a little bit wide. We're going to swing the arms, empty coat sleeves, this is called, so you can turn your head and turn your eyes. And then come to mountain pose with your feet stacked up under your hips. So we have all the joints lined up, the hips, the knees, and the heels. Lift your chest, stand tall. You may even enjoy rolling your palms open to facilitate a little openness in the chest and shoulders. And check in. Notice how you feel standing on your feet. So we're going to do this little playful movement called moving mountain. So on the in-breath, we're going to let the arms float up over our head, and as your arms come up, lift your heels up off the floor. And you're going to wobble a little bit probably. And then as you exhale down, the heels are going to lower down. So again here, the heels don't have very far to move, and your arms are going a big distance. So let's see if we can coordinate those two movements. So as you inhale, arms up, heels lift, any amount. Looking at the floor may help your balance a little bit. And when you come down, see if your heels can touch the floor when your hands touch your legs. So they don't have very far to go. They're going really slow. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms up, heels up, waking up. Maybe you try lifting your eyes. And then exhale down, trying to let your heels touch when your hands touch. Good. Pause for one breath. You can move your shoulders. Okay, we're going to hold one breath. We're going to do a sequence. We're going to hold one breath and come down, and then hold two, and then we'll hold three. So as you inhale, please lift your heels and your arms, any amount. You can notice how it affects your balance to lift your eyes, wobbling legs, and then exhale. As you lower your heels halfway down, bend your elbows out to the sides. And then the in-breath to lift back up. And can you find that little pause at the top of your inhale? We're going to exhale all the way down so the heels touch when your hands touch your legs. Yeah. Okay, this time we'll try two breaths. I'm wobbly today. Inhale up. And exhale, you're going to bend your elbows halfway down, pull your belly in, lower your heels halfway down. And inhale back up. There is some balance here. The legs should be quivering a bit. And then exhale, halfway down again. This is the second breath. Inhale back up. And then all the way down with as much control as you can. This is a little challenging for you. You can lift your heels less. Also, standing on a firm floor, like if you're on a yoga mat or a carpet, this will be a little more challenging. Let's go up again. Inhale. Good. Exhale, halfway down. Belly in, elbows bend a bit. And inhale back up. Now can you explore those pauses at the top of the inhale? Exhale down, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could try counting. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, breathing at your own pace. We'll stay one more breath. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. And slow exhale to come all the way down. And then you can give your shoulders some little shake, and you may want to shake out your feet after that. It's nice for your ankles, build some strength in the ankles. All right, we're going to do a chair pose to stretch out the back, little back bend in that movement. So step your feet hip width apart. I have a yoga block here. If you happen to own a yoga block, it's a good tool for this pose. You can put it in between your upper legs, above your knees. Helps keep the legs firm, helps keep the joints lined up. So if you have one, you can try it. Hands to your hips, and on the inhale, lift your chest. On the exhale, we're going to sink down into chair pose. Maybe you count 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the inhale, we're just going to stand back up. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a great technique to count. So you could do 4 seconds if it's too fast, too slow. Exhale 6 seconds if you can go slower. And then stand back up on your in-breath. Okay, and then again, like we did in the other movement, we're going to do a sequence where we're going to hold one breath and then 2 and then 3. Do some things with our arms. Exhale down into your chair. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale your arms up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take care of your shoulders. You don't have to lift them so high. Exhale, just lower your arms. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then stand back up on your inhale, but counting. 2, 3, 4, 5. This time we'll hold 2 breaths. Exhale down into your chair. Any amount, hips sink back, chest leans forward. And on the inhale, lift your arms. You may do cactus arms. Maybe that's nicer for your shoulders. Still going slow. On the exhale, we're just going to lower the arms back down. Pull the belly in. You could give that block a little hug if you have one there. Stay on this inhale. Again, arms lift. Maybe the eyes lift. If you're trying the counting, you may notice it really helps to slow us down. And then back up to standing on the in-breath. Still slow. Okay, we're going to hold 3 breaths this time. Feel free to breathe slower than me or faster if you'd like. Exhale down. 4, 5, and then lift your arms, either variation. 4, 5, and then lower your arms. 2, 3, 4, 5. Have some weight in your heels. Pull in the belly on the exhale. Again, lifting the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5. And eyes down, arms down, belly in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And last one. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And come up to standing. Good. You could still keep the block in between your legs without lifting the heels. Inhale your arms up. You may enjoy a little back bend here. And exhale your arms down. Still going slow. All right, we're going to take the block out. We're going to do a movement in the warrior one stance. I'm going to have the feet hip width apart for this pose. So the right foot steps forward. Line it up with your right hip. The left foot steps back. Line it up with your left hip so you have some space between your feet, and the back foot is turned out at an angle. And on the inhale, we're going to bend the front knee. On the exhale, when you extend the leg, you can pull your belly in. And just do another test bend. You can adjust the distance between your feet. If you want more bend, that's fine. Exhale, touching in. All right, we're going to explore counting. And what I'm going to start with is 4 seconds on the movement, and then we'll try one with 5 seconds and then 6 seconds. And you can try to challenge yourself. You want to just find that edge where you're comfortable. So you can, of course, go faster or slower than me. So on the movement, we're going to inhale, bend the knee, and lift the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming out of the pose, the same. Exhale down, 2, 3, 4. This time we'll do 5 seconds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll try 6 seconds unless that's a little too slow for you. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to hold the pose. So we'll come up either 4, 5, or 6 seconds, whatever it takes for you. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to hold in place, and you can count your breath at your own pace. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 2 more breaths. Inhale. 5. And count. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more breath. Inhale. Maybe you're lengthening a little on the in-breath. Maybe your eyes lift. Exhale. Soften the shoulders. Pull your belly in. Maybe you soften your eyes. 4, 5. Stay one more. Inhale. 5. And then come out of the pose, but still counting. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just step your feet together and take a moment. So you may have noticed that even though you were trying to move slow, that the counting really helped you slow down. So take a moment, check out the 2 sides. After we did the pose on one side, what do you feel in the right hip, right leg? And then we'll do the pose on the other side. So please step your left foot forward and your right foot back. Again, we're lining up the heels with the hips and whatever distance feels appropriate for you. So take a test bend in your front knee on the inhale. You want that knee pretty much over your heel. On the exhale, as the leg straightens, you can hug the belly in. We want to remember that abdominal engagement on the exhale. And do that one more time. Inhale. And then exhale. So again, we'll go in and out of the pose. We'll take 4 seconds the first time, 5 seconds the second time, 6 the third time. And then when we hold the pose, you can choose which is most comfortable for you as you hold 3 breaths. So here we go. 4-second inhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, coming out of the pose, 2, 3, 4. And here we go. 5 seconds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's 6 seconds if you can go that slow. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll hold the pose so you can come up 4, 5, or 6 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5. And holding in place, counting your breath, pulling in your abdomen on the exhale. 2, 4, 5. Maybe you lift a little on the in-breath. Lift your eyes maybe. Keep counting. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're staying 3 breaths, so 1 more breath. Exhale. 3, 4, 5. So stay 1 more inhale so you can come out on the exhale. And then counting as you come out. So we're still going slow even as we move out of the pose. And then you can step your feet together. And notice. So a little wiggling and jiggling. See what you feel. Stand in mountain pose. Take a pause. So we call this an interoceptive pause. So it's just an opportunity to notice. So you can even close your eyes as you stand nice and tall and notice your body and the sensations in your body. Maybe you feel a little more balanced after doing the pose on each side. And also noticing how you feel. It's a great tool to be able to take a pause and check in, especially if you get sad, angry, anxious, worried, any of the things that we're going through now, you can take a pause and check in. All right, so we're going to come back down onto our back. We're going to still do a few movements where we're counting. So when you come back down onto the floor, you may enjoy drawing your knees into your chest like we did at the beginning because it's a nice way to stretch out the back. You can rock a little bit side to side. We're going to do a little twisting movement here, so if you have a pillow or a blanket or a block, you might have it handy. We're going to take the arms out to the sides, pretty much, shoulder height or slightly lower than your shoulders, and with your knees bent, you can hug them toward each other. It's fine if they're not touching. For some people, it's a little awkward to have the knees together. So we're going to go side to side with our knees, and we're going to try to count that. So take an in-breath, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on your exhale, let your knees go over a little bit to one side. So you may be going all the way over to the floor, and you may be going over only a few inches. So inhale back to the center and count. So this is not a big movement. So if you're counting 5 or 6 seconds, you're going pretty slow here. See what you feel in your back. It's fine if the movement is small. If you're feeling stronger and it's easy for you to go to the floor, try to draw your knees closer to your chest and maybe even touch your elbow. And then slow inhale back to the center. How much control can you have? How smooth can you make the movement? So counting as slowly as you can. So if you can do 4 seconds comfortably, fine. If you can do 5 or 6 seconds. 6 seconds is pretty optimal. Going much further than that isn't that great. It tends to gets us a little stressed. So the next time that you go to the left side, we're going to stay over there. And if you have a block or a blanket or a pillow or something that you can use to support your knees, take them over there and just let them rest on that support. Now, if you choose to if your knees are all the way over on the floor, you may notice that your right arm is kind of up in the air or your right shoulder is off the floor, which is okay for a few breaths if your shoulder is healthy. But if you have your right shoulder is compromised or it's up off the floor, you could rest it on your hip. You could lower it down closer to your hip. I kind of like having the shoulder on the floor so you can see what feels comfortable and safe for you. And then while you're holding here, you're still counting your breath while I've been talking. 4, 5, or 6 seconds on the inhale and the exhale. And then we're going to come back to the center. So after you complete your next exhale, let the inhale bring you back up. You can lift one knee and then the other, and then put your feet on the floor for a moment. Even up your shoulders and your hips. And then we're going to go over to the other side. So you can pull your knees up close, go over, put some support under your knees, maybe a blanket, a block, pillow. Check out your left shoulder, your left arm. Again, you could have it down a little bit. You could even rest that arm on your hip if your shoulder is injured. And then once you get yourself situated and you can hold the twist, count 4, 5, or 6 seconds on the inhale and the exhale. It does help focus your attention. It can be a useful tool for falling asleep at night, for meditation, lots of helpful ways you can use to count your breath. So after you complete your next exhale, please inhale your knees back to the center and lower your feet to the floor. Take a moment to even up the two sides. We're going to do one more movement here on our back. So feet in line with your hip bones, lining up the joints like we did in standing. And we're going to do the bridge pose. This is the one where we lift the hips up. So you can have your hands palms down by your sides. And we're going to still try to count the breath. So you might do one sequence 4 seconds and then try to do 5 or 6 seconds. Or you could just, if you're comfortable doing 5 or 6 seconds, you can just go that. So this is a small movement, so it's going to be quite slow if you count, 5 seconds. So on your next inhale, just lift your hips up, 3, 4, 5, and then count on the way down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember to use your abdominal engagement on the way down. You can push through the heels on the way up. You want to not turn your head from side to side, so let's look up toward the ceiling. 4, 5, 6, and then down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're welcome to keep doing it that way, going up and down, or if you like, you can lift up and hold the pose, but see if you can still count your breath. 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can hold 1, 2, 3 breaths if you like. Hugging in, watch your knees are still in line with your hip bones. And when you feel ready to come down, you're going to exhale down and still counting. So you're going to exhale slowly down with great control. So when you've made your way down to the floor, maybe you're already there, you can draw your knees into your chest and you can rock and sway. Some people like lifting the chest up toward the knees after that pose if it's nice for you. Maybe a little shake of the feet, a little shake of the hand, just shaking off all the effort now. And then we'll begin to come into our resting position into Shavasana. So you can lower your feet down. take a breath or two to notice your body and how it feels when your knees are bent. And if that's comfortable, maybe you stay here. Maybe your feet are a little apart and your knees are touching. For many people, that's a nice position for the back. If you are comfortable lying flat on the floor, you can stretch your legs out flat, or you could put your blanket under your knees, a little bend in the knees, a pillow. Just make sure your back is comfortable. And again, you can have your knees bent. That's perfectly fine if you feel a little bit of discomfort in your back or your hamstrings are a bit tight. This can be a helpful way to relax. So situate yourself so you're comfortable. Soften or close your eyes. And for the first maybe 3 rounds of breath, I'd like you to count your breath again. So just inhaling and exhaling. If you felt strained by counting 6 seconds, maybe just do 4 seconds. Try to imagine that as you exhale, your body is releasing into the floor, so letting the shoulders, the hips sink into the mat, softening. And then after you've counted maybe 3 breaths, just let go of the counting. And return to your normal breath, so no effort at all. And allow yourself this time to rest. So soft mouth, soft hands, soft toes. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all live with ease. May we all live in peace. So please allow yourself to rest. So if you can, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes if you have it. If you feel anxious, if it's hard for you to lie still, try staying for 12 breaths. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste. Happy counting.